Radio Raheem here with the Son of God, Andre Ward. Another masterful performance. A long time back to the ring. And as soon as the bell rung, this guy came running across the ring. And you seem to settle down. Talk to me about when you saw him running over there. What was the first thing went through your mind?
I said, here he goes. I knew he was going to do something like that. I've been boxing long enough, man, where we got 12 rounds. And I know he's not in the kind of shape where he can keep that up for 12 rounds. And as soon as I came back, initially what I did, I just settled down. I just kind of got in my legs and said, okay, come on. And he saw that I wasn't afraid, and he kind of backed off and decided to, start boxing a little bit. So I wasn't worried about that. And as soon as I got back to the corner, Verse said, look, man, if he wants to fight like that, he's going to wear himself out. This kid struggled to make weight. He's not in the shape you're in, so let him keep doing that. He's going to wear himself out. And I think he did that. He was huffing and puffing in there at times. And I'm just excited to get back and get busy, because when I start getting 2-3 fights a year under my belt consistently, that's when we're going to see another Andre Ward where I'm doing things without even thinking about it. Right now, I got to think about it. Been on 14 months. It's a lot of thinking involved. But when you're in a rhythm and a groove, man, you start doing stuff that's just unbelievable, and that's what I'm looking forward to getting to.
If I could take you back before that first bell rung, it seemed like Rodriguez was playing mind games from the very first press conference. He sprung the steroids testing thing on you, and then he himself didn't make weight. Do you think that was a discipline issue, or how could this guy not come in prepared for a championship fight to win the title if he could win the fight?
Yeah, he tried the mind games, but unfortunately, he's a rookie at the mind games. I'm just being real with you. The stuff he did was elementary stuff, and it was almost like, really? It was that kind of stuff he was doing where it was like, come on, man. It wasn't even like, I don't know how else to put it. So it didn't work. He picked the wrong team and the wrong fighter to try those types of things. And really, he probably gave up a lot of energy and spent a lot of time trying to create these ways to get in my head, when really I think he made himself look bad on a lot of fronts. And he capped it off by not making weight and not even attempting to make the weight once he was 2 pounds over.
So the bell rings, you settle in, and then he starts to grab and punch and hold, and it was clearly going to be a rough, if not dirty fight. How long into the fight did you realize that was basically his only strategy?
I knew before I got to the arena that night. I watched his fights, and it's funny. That's what I'm saying. Going back to things that were said before the fight, he called me a dirty fighter before the fight. I've never had a point taken away from me. Well, tonight we had a point taken away, but first time ever. But it was in retaliation to him fouling me. But never had an intentional foul, anything like that. And then I'm watching his fight, not his last fight, but the fight before his last fight. He gets 2 points taken away for intentional fouls. And after the fight, he gets in the ring and apologizes to the fans for being dirty and this. I don't understand where this guy's coming from. So that being said, I knew. So when I talked to Jack Reese, I said, Jack, I respect you. You're a great ref. But I can't allow him to hit me behind my head, and I can't allow him to get frustrated and hit me low. I knew that it was going to be this time. I told my wife, I told Verse, I told the ref, I knew it.
Did you feel like taking the 2 points in the 4th round was fair from both of you?
Jack's doing what he has to do. He's trying to get control of the situation. But I'll take those 2 points. I'll take that loss to let him know that I'm not having it.
Now, they can't say it wasn't exciting. This fight had everybody, out of their chairs. But again, it wasn't really a pretty fight. Is this the way it's going to have to be if they're going to be exciting? Because when it comes to boxing, you seem to just outbox everyone so quickly and easily, it doesn't get the fans excited.
No, it's what's exciting and what's not is a relative term. You talk to one person and what you think is exciting may not be exciting to the next person and vice versa. So personally, I wasn't really happy with the performance. I felt like it could have been sharper, it could have been crisper, I could have showcased more, but I think a lot of that had to do with the dude I was fighting. And what I'm not going to do is beat myself up. First thing Roy Jones said to me, he said, look, after the fight, he said, this dude is trying to get lucky. You did what you had to do. Don't take no unnecessary risk. Get this win, move on to the next. He understands. So we put on a stellar performance against Chad Dawson. We come back after 14 months, we fight this type of guy. And I think the next fight will probably be, a lot better and a lot more polished to it. than it was tonight. But a lot of times it depends on the opponent. You got to kind of take what they give you sometimes.
Right, and we've talked about this before. Were you at all pressing for the knockout? I know you're conscious of putting on a good show and you do your best. Was tonight, after the layoff and the frustration, the head games, and then this guy fighting dirty, were you pressing? Were you wanting to put him out and put him down?
There was a couple times in the middle rounds where I know I was getting to him, and I was stepping it up, but I was doing it my way. Touching him to the body, going back to the head. He had a decent defense tonight. They trained to block my left hook, and he did that a few times. But I did get the big left hook in the 10th round. I think it was late in the round, so he was able to get off the hook, get back to the corner, have a whole minute to recover, and from there he was pretty much recovered. So it's kind of how the cookies crumble tonight. But I can assure you that the busier I am and the more consistent that I'm fighting, we're going to take this thing to another level.
And lastly, Andre, looking forward, I know this fight just happened. You just stepped out of the ring, but you're the #2 guy in the sport on everybody's, pound for pound, so you got a target on your back. There's Golovkin out there. There's Chavez out there. Who would you like to fight next? Who's best for you in your career to take on next and move to that next level where you want to go?
All of them. All of the above.
Is there one guy? I mean, both of these guys have their own fan base, but who's out there for you?
I mean, that's what we got to sit down and figure out. To be honest, I don't think Golovkin wants to fight right now. I don't know if Chavez Jr. is available right now, so it's hard to say this guy or that guy. We got to sit down and see what's realistic, and then we're gonna take the best fight, the biggest fight, and the best opportunity for me.
And just to wrap it up, the huge boxing legends came out to see you tonight.
And that was big.
They were huge, and they weren't here to promote their own fights. They were here to see you. Lastly, just talk to me about what that felt like and where you are now and living your dream.
Man, that was big. I mean, I heard Mike was here, Sugar Ray Leonard was here. And Chris Berg came in my locker room and said, "Man, dude, I'm a fan." I'm like, "I grew up watching you." That kind of stuff. I had not a great week, but we had a great fighter meeting with Roy Jones, and that's my childhood hero. That's unbelievable to me. I pay homage to these guys. I'm not some young, slick-talking youngster who forgot about those guys. They made a way for me, and I've stolen a lot of things from those guys. I've been watching Floyd Mayweather fights and Bernard Hopkins fights all day today, just picking up little things. Those guys inspire me. So I respect those guys. And for those guys to take the time to come see me fight is unbelievable.
Excellent performance tonight. Thank you for the time. Radio Raheem with the Son of God, Andre Ward.